Today we're going to be talking about using Google Forms for assessment in the classroom, and I'd like to walk you through how to set one up so that it gives students immediate feedback. In my Google Drive, I'm going to click on New and go down to Google Forms. Here I can title it, and I'm going to say, this is 3rd grade expressive movement. So, this is where I don't have it ready yet. The first thing I'd like to do is have the students give their name for my own organization purposes. So that would be a short answer, and I'm going to require that. The next thing I'm going to do is add a plus, and I will say my teacher is, again, so that I can sort students by class. I will give them multiple choice if they have to type the name. They may spell it wrong, and it may be harder to organize later, and also this is quicker. So I would say it's either Russell, Sullivan, or Kazin, and I will require that. I'm going to add my third question. When performing the dance today, I moved my body to the mood of the music. I was too silly at times and didn't always match the mood, or I didn't match the mood. So this is an example of a 3-tier assessment here, and I'm going to have them choose one of these, and it is required. Okay, I'm going to add one more just to show you how this works. I was able to keep my body in control and do the movements correctly. And again, multiple choice. It's either a yes, most of the time, or a no, I was not able to control my body. As an example, I'm going to require this. I always like to give students a chance to give me comments as well, just in case there's something I didn't know. I don't require that one, however. So right now we have a pretty simple response here. I can also add in a photo just to make it a little fancier. Just going to choose this. Go to desktop. And I want kids dancing. There it is. And now I can move this wherever I want it. And I would want it more towards the top. I also think I want it to be aligned in the center. Okay, so now within this I can also see my responses. Obviously I don't have any yet, but I could send this out to others. Now here in the settings, this is what I like to do. I like to limit it to one response. This will require people to sign into Google. So if your students use Google Classroom, for example, they would sign in with your Google ID and do this. For me, we do not have Google Classroom set up. We are not a one-to-one school, so students will be using the same laptop or iPad to fill this out. I am not going to limit this to one response because it would shut down after one device, and signing in constantly is too much of a time waster in my classroom. So respondents can, I'm not going to let them edit after submit. You can click to see a summary of charts and text responses if you would like. Presentation, you can have it show a progress bar, you can have it shuffle the questions. For this particular one, I don't need to do that. At the end I could say, thank you for your response. Please return to your seat. This is what they will see at the end of the assessment after they click submit. You can also turn this into a quiz. You can assign point values to questions. I'll show you how I've done that with another example in a moment. Right now I'm going to save though. This is really me taking a poll of the students. I don't need to make this a quiz. So I'm going to save this. By the way, if I click here, it will just turn that into the name. And now let's preview this. Let's see what it looks like to the student. So let's try filling it out and see what it looks like. We'll just say I'm in Mrs. Russell's class. I moved my body. Most of the time I was able to be in control. And you can see my progress bar down here and submit. Thank you. Please return to your seat. And then I can see previous responses. So then I can see, because I allowed this, students could see in general where the class is at. You may or may not want them to have that feedback. I personally like to see that feedback as a teacher, but I don't generally let my students see all of that. So now what I would like to do is actually switch to a completely different type of quiz. This is actually a writing analysis. And this is an example I use to teach some professional development in my district here. This is a quiz. It's generally the same. I added a photo here. I just took a screenshot of the sight words kids were working on and a sentence example. Then down here you can see, does it start with a capital letter? You'll notice that I've designated a correct answer and I've given it a point value, so I can weight it. To change this, I just edit the question, and I want to deal with the answer key. So here I've assigned it no. That would be the correct answer. I can give it feedback for if they get a correct answer, they'll get a great job. For an incorrect answer, oops, look again, the first word is not a capital letter. And again, I can control how many points. I love this new feature because Google does all of the work for me and it compiles all of my data. All I need to do is look at it and reflect on it. So let's take a look at what this looks like as a preview. Here's what it would look like to the students, and we'll take this as well so you can see what it looks like as a quiz. Does it start with a capital letter? No. I'm going to do some of these wrong. Does it have punctuation? We'll pretend we said yes. Does it use any of this? I'm not sure. Did I notice anything else? Man is uppercase. I'm trying to think like a first grader. Let's hit submit and see how this is different. This time my settings have changed. So my response has been recorded, but I can view my score and get immediate feedback. This is now augmenting my it's augmenting a traditional quiz because I can see this immediate feedback and get comments from the teacher. Does it start with a capital letter? Great job. Got it right. Does it have punctuation? Look again. It does not. And they can look back. Does it use any of the weak sight words? I'm not sure. Well, the correct answer would be yes, there are some. And so this gives students a good chance. It shows their score right away. Back in my end of this, where is it? I can look at my responses now, and I can see all sorts of data based on different responses that I have received to see where my students are at. I can see their extra comments that they've written in, so I can see what they're missing or not. Create a spreadsheet is what I would like to do. And let's create it. See what all of these responses look like. Here it is. It is time-stamped, which is fabulous. So I know what time of day, which class period it was. You can see, did it start with a capital? Does it have punctuation? All of this different data is now listed for me. I could copy and paste this into whatever format I may need to use it in. So that is how a quiz works. Let's go back to the first one that we made earlier. And let's just take a look at this. I would like to see a spreadsheet of this one to see how they're different. So here you could see I have names. I could then sort by names, sort A to Z. If I needed to manually input one, I can manually input it in the spreadsheet, and again it is saved just in the responses version of this. I can organize by teacher if I need to. I can read all of these comments. If you need a little more space, just move them over, which I really value because I like to get comments from students and see what their responses really are. Another step I've taken it to make it easier for my students is I created a QR code so that if they are using multiple devices, students have to share devices, then they just need to scan this code and it will take them automatically to that site. I have used the website Cricut for that, which is qricket.com. Just looks like this. So I want a free URL. I will go to, let's see, I'm going to go back to make sure I have the absolute right one. Go to the quiz. I'm going to copy that, go to Cricut, paste it, and I like to name everything. Writing, analysis prompt, create. And there it is. I can then download, I can modify it, I can create a flyer or a poster with this. So this is a very handy way for kids to instantly get there. If you can eliminate any steps along the way, that's ideal for assessment. We want them to focus on their answers, not getting to the answers. So I hope this has helped you, and good luck with your own Google Forms.